Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm.
Hello and welcome to my channel. I swear I do that intro a little different every single time, but it is always corny. My name is Amy Prokopis. I am a fantasy romance author. I have 9 books out now, and today we are going to be talking about my 2025 goals. We are in July, we're halfway through the year, and every July I like to come back and review progress for my 2025 goals, see where things stand, how much longer I have left before I can complete and check off some of those. So I am excited to say that today we are going to be checking off some goals off my 2025 list already, even though we're only halfway through the year. And I am super excited. So if you have not watched already, go and watch the video where I talk about setting my 2025 goals. I explain why I'm setting them, where I am at that point in my life. I give a bit more context and background. So watch that because I will give some updates as to where things have changed and stuff now, half a year later. But if you want to get the full scope of why I set some of those goals, go watch that video. All right, I don't have a ton of time today, so we're going to jump straight into it. The first goal I set was to read 12 books, so that's a book a month. That doesn't sound like a lot in the reader world, but for me, in my time and where I am in my life right now, it is kind of a lot. In the setting my goals video, I explain that I have a tendency to, fill my plate and feel really comfortable with how much is on my plate and then throw a few more things on and set it completely overboard. And I still do that to this day. And I'm still battling that. So reading kind of falls into that because it's one of the first things that comes off my plate when I get really busy. When I filmed the 2025 goal video, I was in the middle of finishing paperwork and finishing coursework to be an LPC, which stands for Licensed Professional Counselor. I finished all of that in December, and I just this last week took my first client because it took that long to get through the system in my state. I was completely done. I had finished everything. I had some hangups with testing, getting that scheduled. There was a day they had to cancel on me, but I tested and it still took like 3 to 4 months to get through the system. It was extremely time consuming, very stressful. And so I did not have the mental capacity to do more than what I had to. And so my goals dwindled really just down to the publishing things and marketing. And so have I read 12 books? No, I have started 3 though. I checked my Goodreads account and it said that I read 3 books and I went, okay, but what were those books? Because I don't remember. They were the books that I was editing for myself. So Trial of Flame and Wings, Curse of Blood and Sight, those kinds of things were listed in there as books that I read because I was editing them and I've started doing that on my Kindle. So I have not read any books. I have started several. I believe I have actually started 3 books. So I'm actively reading them and I'm not DNFing them. I really like those books and I've enjoyed them. I think the timing with everything going on in my personal life just kind of collided and exploded and went to flames and I had to pause a lot of things. So I am coming back to those. I am still hanging on to my goal of reading 12 books. We will see. I am a quick reader. So once I get on a kick, I'm like a book a week easy kind of a reader. So we'll see. I would love to finish the books that I am reading because I have so many more on my TBR that I'm dying to get to. So far, this has not been a successful goal for me. The next is to publish 3 books. I will put them up here. We have already published one of those. Trial of Flame and Wings came out June 23rd. Then we will have Curse of Blood and Sight, which is currently with my editor. that just started this week. So I will get that back the end of July, and we will finish that off for the release date of October 1st. And then we have Snow at Sunset, which is the final book in my winter witchy romance. I'm so excited. And I started writing that book this week. I am a little behind on my schedule. I really would have preferred to have started writing this book last month. But honestly, I'm about a month off. I'm pushed for time on a lot of my publishing schedule. However, I am still on track to publish 3 books in 2025. I feel very good about that. 3 books seems to be doable and like a really good mix for me. So yeah, I'm not checking this off yet because I have not completed it, but I am on track to complete that. My next 2025 goal was to go to more bookish events, things like book signings, book festivals, just get myself out there more. In the past, the only reason why I have not done this is because of things like table fees and mostly my time. So if you've watched the vlog for a very long time, then you know, kind of in line with that transition to becoming an LPC, I used to work in public education. I've been a high school teacher. I taught high school German for a long time. I've taught English. I've taught English as a second language. And then I transitioned to school counseling. And then from there, I left about a year ago, to start my endeavor of becoming an LPC so that I could split my schedule with my growing writing platform. So time was not something I had a lot of, and the weekends were about the only time that I did have. And for a while, I was also a coach. I coached volleyball. I coached a couple different things, coached track, and sometimes weekends were not even available to me because of sporting events. So going to book festivals and book signings was far and few in between, and I really only went to the ones really local to me because they were convenient. They were easy to get to. I didn't have to worry about travel. It was just less hassle. But this year, I decided I wanted to expand my platform and get out there more by going to 5 book events. And I am proud to say that so far I've been to 3. Most of them have been local to me, and I may be going to a 4th this month. We will see. I need to reach out and confirm things. A really big book festival. Well, I say really big, but bigger than what I've been to in a little while. And so, yeah, I am doing really well with this. I'm on track to hit 5. I am very excited. I would also really like to do more than 5 if I can. So we'll see where my time lends me and if I can get in more events. My next goal was to get 500 subscribers here on YouTube. I actually hit that pretty quickly. I am currently at 524, I believe. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe below. Help me out. We do fun things here on this channel. Please and thank you. And so YouTube, I was very excited to hit that milestone. I am so excited. I would love to get close or get to 600 by the end of this year, actually, and get 100 more than that goal. But yes, this is one of those goals that I was able to check off of my list really early in the year. So I am excited to say that halfway into the year and we have already reached my YouTube goal. Now, YouTube is one of those platforms that when everything with all the LPC stuff kind of exploded, my schedule got wonky, I have had a really hard time finding a new schedule that stays consistent. And YouTube is one of those things that has become a little inconsistent for me here in my life, which I am not happy about. Like I said earlier with the reading goal, YouTube was one of those tasks that kind of fell by the wayside in my author life as things got crazy. I focused on writing and publishing and not so much on those other things. I scaled back a little bit. I am really excited that now that things are falling into place and I have a work schedule with LPC stuff, in another month, school's gonna kick back up and everyone else at my house will be back on a schedule. So things should fall into place and I should be able to get out those normal videos Wednesdays and things like I used to. So I am excited, but super excited that we reached the YouTube goal for 2025. My next goal was to reach 4,000 Instagram followers. Instagram is by far my hardest social media platform to grow, and it really bothers me. I need to put a little bit more time, effort, and research into that, or maybe talk to somebody with some expertise in that area, because I would love to grow it. It just grows so incredibly slow. I am still stuck at a little over 3,000 followers. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, go follow me, because that's actually, and this is why it bothers me so much, Instagram is the social media platform where I am most active. It's where I am most present. I post most of my updates there. I'm there way more often than I am on any of my other social media platforms, but the others seem to grow at a lot quicker rate than Instagram does. And I know that that's kind of common. I've heard that online, that people struggle with that also. So it's not just me. But if you're not following me, the links are in the description box to go and follow me on social media. And that is where you're going to get most of the updates. So go follow me on Instagram. So no, I'm not even close to my 4,000 Instagram follower goal for 2025. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. I would hope so. But at this point, halfway into the year, my plan is to maybe look at some marketing strategies and things that cater better to Instagram, so that I can, one, grow that platform more, and also two, rely a little bit less on my TikTok success, because TikTok was the one thing I did not set a 2025 goal for. In the past, I have set a TikTok goal, and it's been one of my major, one of my big goals that I've been focused on, because book talk is insane. And still to this day, my sales, I can track back to which TikToks have done really well that week. And if I don't post, or I missed a TikTok update, I don't get the page reads and the sales. And so I hate that TikTok is so successful, because it seems like every few months it's up in the air if it's going to stick around. And the fact that so many of us are reliant on it for marketing, including myself, is a little nerve-wracking. So I, at this point, halfway into 2025, would like to focus on other social media strategies on other platforms. That is why I decided not to set a TikTok goal for 2025. So we're mid-year. I didn't hit my Instagram goal so far, but what I'm going to do as a result is I'm going to do a little research and focus a little bit more on creating content that is more Instagram worthy than maybe TikTok worthy. My next goal is a Patreon goal. It is 20 paid Patreon members. I wish I actually had done this goal differently. This is one where I could have set another goal halfway into the year, but I wish I had just set it differently rather than it being paid Patreon members, because I actually do a decent amount of exclusives for my free members as much as I do my paid members. So my free members on Patreon have grown every single month, it seems like. I actually have quite a few free members on Patreon. I don't have as many paid. The goal was to get 20 paid Patreon members, and I'm not quite there, but I keep growing in free members, and I have actually started to realize that using that as kind of like a marketing hook for myself, like go follow my Patreon. It is completely free, and you get a freebie at least once a month, which is true. I post something and make it public at least once a month. A lot of times I'll do that twice a month. And there are things that's the only place you can get those updates is on Patreon. And so I've started to use that strategy to migrate some people over to my Patreon. And I am hoping that along the way, people will really enjoy the community, and maybe some people will upgrade to those paid tiers, and maybe I can gain that 20 paid Patreon members and check off that goal by the end of the year. So we will see. That's how I've addressed and changed tact with that. But honestly, I really do wish that I had just done a blanket Patreon members period, not put like the paid on there. So you live and you learn. I knew it was going to be a lofty goal, but we are not quite there yet. So that one I am not checking off yet. Next goal. I wanted to get 1,000 Thread followers. When I set this goal, Threads was still pretty new, but there were a lot of authors talking online about how much fun it's been. It's kind of a place to collaborate in some ways. It's a way to like pitch ideas, get feedback. It's a really cool author space. I actually have a very complicated relationship with Threads, meaning I don't like it. I do like Threads. I like it in theory, but I'm finding myself disliking it for the same reason that I stopped using for the same reason I stopped using Twitter way back in the day, which is it seems to be a place where people are a little bit more free with their thoughts. And when I say free with their thoughts, I mean that people are more likely to post their negative feelings. And I just find that it's a place where it's been nice to collaborate and share and just communicate with other authors, but it also has been a place where I tend to see like other people's author struggles. And while they're completely valid and it is so important, and transparency is a really big deal to me, if you stuck along on this channel at all, transparency is like a pillar of my entire business. I want to show the real side as much as I can of being an author. I'm actually planning to post a video this month, a Wednesday video, where I talk a little bit about some of those real feelings. And so it's important to me to be real, but I have also found that the more time I spend on Threads, the worse I feel by the time I get back off of it. And so I actually limit my time on Threads. And I'm glad to say that I was able to reach this goal because now I don't feel like I have to put as much work into Threads to grow it. My goal was 1,000 Thread followers. I am at 1,120 something. So I can check this one off my list. And honestly, as far as like future things go, I don't think that Threads is the place for me. So I still have my Threads account. Do I pop on Threads? Yeah, I do a couple times a week maybe, but anymore, I really limit my time, and I am starting to use that block feature and not interested feature to try to better train my algorithm so I see less things like that, just for the sake of my own mental well-being, because it's hard enough being an author, but it's especially hard when you're seeing like bad news and stuff clogging up your feeds while you're trying to, share ideas and have community with other authors. So yes, that's my Threads journey. I don't know how much I'm gonna be on there. It's not even linked, I think, down below. It's strictly linked through my Instagram. So go follow me on Threads if you'd like. I do post there a couple times a week, but yeah, I don't know. Don't count on it being a place you're gonna see anything real fun. My final goal is one I checked off really just this week as I got started, and that is to become an LPCC. Hooray! So I already defined LPC as a licensed professional counselor. LPCC, or licensed professional or LPC candidate, means that you are just getting started in your career. When you get started, you are a licensed professional candidate. And in doing that, you have to be under a supervisor, and you have to you have to gain 3,000 working hours. And in my state, I have to report them every 6 months. So once I reach 3,000 hours under my supervisor and report it all to the state, I can apply for full licensure and I will be a full LPC. So right now I'm an LPCC. So the only difference is that I cannot take private insurances. So that is the only difference. Otherwise, I can work just like everybody else. I am on like a 1099 instead of a different like payment source. So that is also different. But other than that, I can work just like anybody else. I just have a supervisor. But yeah, I just started with the agency actually seeing clients and stuff this last week. And I will say it's not a ton different than what I was doing before as a school counselor. It's very similar. It's just a little different paperwork. But my favorite part about this job is that I can take as many clients as I want. I can work whatever hours I want, whatever days I want. And so as author stuff continues to grow, this career is going to make for an easier transition to full-time authordom in the long run than anything else that I've done before. It also suits me better. And honestly, going through this process and all the education and psychology that I've gained has been hugely helpful in writing and becoming a better author and developing better characters. So it's been good for me all around. I am so excited to be finished with it though, because like I said, I was really done about the time I set my 2025 goals, and it took that long to get through all the state paperwork and state agencies. So holy, I am very thankful to my husband, my family, everybody that supported me through this process, because wow, it took a lot longer than we planned for. And so I'm very thankful to everybody, the people I work with, my great friends and family. I'm so thankful for them for helping me through this massive headache, because it really was. It was a giant headache, and I am so glad that I can check it off my 2025 goals. So that is everything for my mid-year check-in of my 2025 goals. Some of those were personal. A lot of them this year were author related though. The reading goal was kind of a personal one, and so was my LPC goal. But I am excited to continue. I am still chasing some of these goals. We are very much on track to publish the 3 books. I can still read the 12 books. We are still on track to accomplish great things, and I am very proud of the things I have accomplished up to this point, which is why I do these mid-year check-ins, because it's fun to see progress. It's highly motivating to me, and I hope you felt the same. So let me know in the comments down below, what are some goals that you had for 2025? Have you stuck with them? What have you accomplished this year that you're just crazy excited about? And maybe, I don't know, or tell me, what is something that you're hoping to accomplish later in 2025 or that you're looking forward to? I would love to know. So let me know down below. Like, subscribe, check out the links below. Make sure you're following me in all of those places. And yes, you can get freebies when you join Patreon, even as a free member. So go join my Patreon account. It's linked below for free, no cost to you, and get at least one exclusive piece of content a month there on Patreon. That's all for me. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Read books, be kind. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.